Good morning or afternoon, whenever it may be that you're joining us, but welcome to our next edition of our interview series with class of 2020 Duke signees. I'm Brian McLawhorn, publisher of DevilsIllustrated.com, part of the Rivals.com and Yahoo Sports Networks. Today we're joined by four-star forward Jaemyn Brakefield from Jackson, Mississippi, by way of Huntington, West Virginia with Huntington Prep. Jaemyn, thanks for joining us today. We're excited to have you part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
First off, we'll just start off like I did with the other two guys we've talked to. How are you and your family doing? I mean, it's kind of a crazy time right now and being stuck inside. How are things going for you?
Oh, it's good. Just staying to ourselves. Actually, it's kind of good spending more family time. So just staying safe and staying isolated is the best thing to do.
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe your high school season maybe ended due to the virus. Is that true, or did you guys finish up first?
It was already finished up. The next step was Geico Nationals, which we didn't make. So, our season was already over. And it eventually happened like a week later.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your high school season then. How did things go for you? What's your thoughts on how things were this season?
Oh, we had a great team. Started off real hot, and just had a great season. Had a few bumps down the road, but as a team, we finished well. Bonded with some new guys. Like every year, we have like 5 new guys on the team, so it's kind of hard. Just gelling together, and just finding yourself through the team. But as individually, I think I played great. Helped my team to whatever I could do, to my best potential, and I just had a great season.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You finding yourself and being able to improve over the course of the season. How did you feel like you improved from the start of your senior season to the end of it?
I feel like I started to get more poised with my game. Just finding really who you are as a basketball player and what you can do and what you need to work on. I think that's mainly what I needed to know, and I think that's what I figured out. But definitely just I think I developed more of the mental game of it instead of the actual physical game.
So let's talk a little bit about your physical game. A lot of Duke fans have seen highlights and videos of you. I personally didn't get a chance to scout you in person. I know Clint Jackson, who's our recruiting analyst, has seen you in person. But could you just break down, kind of give us a scouting report, I guess, of your game and what your strengths are?
A versatile point forward. Somebody can stretch the floor, play multiple positions, guard multiple positions. An athlete, I won't say the freakest athlete. Going to Duke, you can't really compare, but an athlete definitely. So my biggest strengths, I'd probably say my IQ, definitely my IQ. A strength for me, I think, that's underrated, being able to play with anybody. And just, not being somebody that has to play one position. I would rather just be on the court than being named in the position.
So we talked to Henry Coleman last week, and he referred to your ability to shoot the basketball. And I mean, we've seen all your dunks. We've seen you drive to the basket on a lot of your highlight reels. That speaks for itself. Can you talk about that part of your game and just your ability to stretch the floor in that regard?
As far as shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. A lot of people don't know. I used to be right-handed. So used to be right-handed like 7th grade and switched it over and started shooting left-handed. And it was an easy transition to me. Got some flaws to fix, but I definitely feel like I'm a good shooter, not a great shooter. Definitely can improve. I'm definitely somebody you cannot leave open because I have a confidence. I feel like I'm Klay Thompson sometimes, the confidence, but I feel like I can really stretch the floor with my shooting ability, and that's what allows me to get to the paint a lot of times.
So that's interesting. I think you're probably the first person I've ever met that has voluntarily chosen to go from right-handed to left-handed or vice versa. So
Right.
What went into that decision? Why did you change from and work on that to go from right-handed to left-handed, and how hard was that? Like there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, I actually think this is the first time I've ever told somebody on an interview like that. But it was It was kind of an easy decision. It really wasn't my decision. My trainer, it was kind of my trainer's decision. So I write with my left hand, but I do like most of my other stuff with my right hand. So the way I was shooting when I was younger, like when I first started playing basketball in like sixth grade, it wasn't really like I didn't really like the shot. So I kind of changed it. And he has a way of transitioning players to shoot in a unique way, and that's what I feel like he just transitioned to me. I feel like it was easy. It was a process. It was a fun process though. Usually coming in the gym for a long, long time, getting a lot of reps up. Like a lot of people say, it takes like 200,000 reps to get in your mental. So it was a fun process. You know, a lot of people they like to go in the gym and work on shooting. So it was kind of fun to do that. And then see how it turned out. It was great.
How long did it take you to get comfortable with the switch?
Get comfortable. Um, wasn't that long. It was kind of a process though because you gotta get used to the coordination part of it. Shooting off from the left side when you dribble. When you're used to dribbling with your right hand, you got to do a whole bunch of rhythm dribbling where you bring it to your left side. So it's a lot, but I feel like it's unique. It didn't really take that long, but it was a fun process, like I said.
So last thing about that, and I won't harp on it, but obviously I'm guessing that when you start shooting left-handed, it changes more than just your shot. It changes how you approach the game, how you attack. Is that accurate? And how did that work out?
Um, I mean, I feel like before I switched, I feel like when I switched to my left hand, it was all of the same process of me like getting more coordinated. So I feel like it all kind of tied together, like being able to go right and pull up with your left. It's just hard to beat sometimes, and I hear that all the time. Like it's crazy that somebody might force me left, and I can just shoot with my left, and or somebody might force me right, and I usually go right. So it's kind of unique, but I love it.
Yeah, I can see how that's a benefit for you. I mean, that can
Right.
cause some havoc for defenders, I guess. So I want to talk a little bit about you. You are probably the player that Duke fans know the least about, only because the way your recruitment played out. I mean, it was pretty quick. They offered, and you were on that pretty quickly. Um,
Right.
so at the time of your commitment, you told one of our guys at Rivals.com that it had been a kind of a dream of yours, something you had been working toward all your life. Can you talk a little bit about that and why you were so decisive in your decision to pick Duke?
Oh yeah, like I said, like when I first started playing basketball, like the sixth grade, I had a mindset of like where I wanted to go, or like you know how like coaches when you play basketball and people ask you like what are your goals with this. That was kind of one of my goals that I set out to be, and I was fortunate enough to reach that goal. And when I reached it, I just went away with it. I told myself I was going to do it, but like I said, when I was younger, I always watched Duke, loved to watch them and watch some of the players and try to mimic my game after theirs. So definitely just growing up watching with the process. Um, it was a long recruiting process. But like people think, like when Duke called and offered me, it wasn't the first time I talked to him. I was talked to him like years before that. I've been talking to Coach Nate James for a while. Uh, a lot of people, like I mentioned in some previous interviews, I was supposed to reclass with the 2019 class to go up. But that's what a lot of people don't know. They just assume that it was an overnight thing, but it was a long process.
But it was a pretty quick decision after you got the offer, though, right? Is that correct?
Oh, definitely.
So did it live up to all those dreams as a younger player? Before you had the chance to get to know Coach K, know the Duke staff, learn more about Duke. Did it match up with what you envisioned it to be?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
What about it matched up? What were some of those things that stuck out to you that you found with Duke that made it such the right fit, made it match those things?
Like people said, kind of mentioned in like the comments, I never really visited Duke before I committed, um, and a lot of people were shocked by that. But like I've seen, like growing up, if I love Duke, I'm gonna watch anything I can on Duke, whether if it's documentaries. So just growing up watching and falling in love with Coach K himself, and a lot of the players that he had kind of spoke for itself. But it lived up to it by, getting to know how genuine the coaches are. Coach K is. The history of the program is just unreal, and I'm a part of it. So
Let's talk about your classmates, the group you're coming in with. It's a pretty strong, versatile, balanced group. So what jumps out to you about your class?
I think we're a great class. A lot of different guys. A lot of our games are alike, and I feel like all of our games can mesh together. And I feel like they all feed off each. I feel like we'll feed off each other, and I feel like just not really being with each other during this quarantine time. I feel like we're still connecting, and I feel like we're building our relationship already. I feel like we got all the pieces to the puzzle.
So you and Jalen have played together, though, correct?
Right.
Can you talk about that relationship between you two and on and off the court, and how that kind of translates to once you get to Duke?
Playing like you said, with the whole recruitment thing, people didn't really expect us to play together at the next level. So going over to play AU with them, it was kind of just, we're going to be AU teammates, and bond kind of really grew. People they kind of seen that our games are pretty much similar in some ways, and that we just mesh well together. So it was kind of easy for us to play together, both unselfish dudes. So off the court, there's both great guys. I feel like we both have great personalities that can mesh together.
How do you complement each other on the floor, since you are pretty similar in a lot of ways?
Right. I think our IQs are similar. We both know how to pass the ball and see the floor. Our IQ is high. And just both being point forwards, I feel like when you get it, like I said, somebody can get it and we can see each other. I feel like we both have the same mindset of what we're going to do if one of us is going to get the ball. So we kind of look for each other.
You mentioned the relationship with the other guys. I know that from talking with DJ and Henry, you guys have group text messages. You'll
Right.
play video games together, whatever it is that you do. Can you talk about the relationship with the other guys and how you've been able to build some of that?
I kind of knew some players for a while now, just seeing them over during camps and stuff. I actually mentioned this in the article. Me and Mark and Henry, not this past summer, but the one before, we were at NBA Top 100 together. And, like when you're a sophomore, there's like some point in the summer where coaches can finally contact you. We were all with each other at dinner. And, before, like, we know we're going to go to school with each other. We just sit with each other talking. And we're receiving calls from coaches, answering, like, bro, oh, they're calling? Dang, bro, good job, good job. Well, it was kind of like that, me, Mark, and Henry. So it was kind of unique that we're going to be teammates. But, like, watching Jeremy Roach play at, like, camps and stuff, we kind of talked back then, and with DJ as well.
So, looking at some of your social media posts, it seems like you're really driven by maybe something to prove, a chip on your shoulder. Am I reading that correctly? Is that accurate? And if so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, definitely. Like you said, I don't feel like, but like you said, kind of like the guy that's kind of unknown, I would kind of say. But I kind of expected that, like coming into it. Just like kind of being under the radar, but I feel like I always have a chip on my shoulder in anything I do. And like I said, like even with the recruitment, I feel like people ask me why I chose Duke, and I don't really like things easy, so that's why I chose it.
Let's talk a little bit about your basketball fix. I mean, I know there's no sports right now, it's all replays. How have you gotten your hoops fix over the last couple months?
As far as watching it,
Yeah, like just being able to sports in general, man. Not having it, we're all kind of searching, I guess.
I think that's something I really needed to work on. Like even before this happened, was watching basketball. So I feel like this is a great time for me to do that. Because like before, I was usually always just in the gym because my schedule, like woke up in the morning, work out, go to school, after school, get something to eat, then work out again, then practice, and then by the time I get home, I gotta do my homework. So it was kind of really no time to watch it, other than watching highlights on my phone. But I feel like this is a great time for me to watch basketball, and I've done so, watching a lot of my favorite players. But as far as for me getting in the gym and working out, I'm still able to, whether it's like weightlifting or on the basketball court.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to ask you specifically about that too, what you were doing. So you haven't had to change your regimen at all from working out and getting prepared?
I would definitely have to, because it's kind of like you got to travel to a different spot than you're usually used to. And as far as like, like regular exercise, like weightlifting, I work out with my regular trainer, but it's not at the gym. It's in his basement. He got stuff in his basement. So it's kind of different. It's different environments, but I've adjusted to it. Like for like the first 2 weeks that this happened, I was working out outside on the basketball court, and then until we found a gym. So I've been working out inside.
So just to backtrack a little bit, you mentioned you were watching some of your favorite players. Who are some of those, and what are you taking from those guys?
My favorite player in the NBA right now is Jason Tatum. Just love watching him, love how smooth his game is. That's somebody definitely I watched that has gone to Duke. And just watching his game, watching his highlights all the time is just somebody I look up to, and just can't wait to meet in the NBA one day.
Looking back at the past season, Duke's season, did you get a chance to watch them very much?
Oh, definitely.
Did you have a favorite memory from last season?
Oh, favorite memory, definitely the North Carolina game. The first one. I was actually at the second one. I was at the second one. But the first one, definitely watching that. I was actually in New Jersey for a tournament, and as soon as I got back to the hotel, I saw it on like the final seconds on the TV. So it was kind of crazy just to watch it.
Were you watching it by yourself?
Oh, I had two of my teammates in the room with me. We were watching it.
Nice.
I was going crazy.
Were you a nervous wreck when they were going through the process? Henry said the last 2 minutes, or up to the last 2 minutes, he was cool. And then those last 2 minutes, he's like, my emotions were like a roller coaster because they go up, they go down, they go up. How did you handle that?
Oh, like I said, like as soon as I walked in the room, I cut the TV on. It was kind of like it was in action right there. So it was kind of like seeing those last few minutes. I was like on my heels like this, like really in tune to it. So it was it was a unique situation. Just getting to watch the guys before me. So it was a great situation.
So that your answer, picking the Carolina game, has been everybody's answer. I mean, rightfully so. So it leads me to, I've asked the other two guys this, so I'll ask you this too. What's your like childhood memory from doing the buzzer beater shot? Like, what was your go-to on the court in the backyard, kind of playing down the final minutes?
Oh man, I know there's some of the times, like when I would work out after our home games, I would just be in the gym by myself with my AirPods on, listening to music. And I would or even when I turn the music off, I would be like in there by myself. I would go full court. I'll just be by myself. Like I'll do the whole tip off thing. And I'll just be like it's a buzzer beater situation. I'll hit it. But it's there's no really age limit on doing that because it's kind of like you always imagine it. So it was a unique situation.
Yeah, I even do that today. I said the same thing to DJ. Right. I'm like, man, I'm in my early 40s and I'm still doing that stuff.
Right.
So it'll never go away.
Never go away.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you get out of here with this question. What would you like to tell Duke fans? Maybe something they don't know about you on the court, off the court, just to let them know Jaemyn a little better.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely a fun. Well, this is their opinion. I definitely think I'm a funny guy. I think I'm a unique guy. Somebody that's not shy at all. Easy to be around. I'm somebody that comes from. I'm not going to say anything because that's kind of disrespect to my parents, but doesn't come from a lot. So I'm grateful for what I have. So anybody that wants to talk to me, DM me, I answer. When I go live, I answer questions. I'll add you on the live so you can talk to me face to face. Even in person when I get on campus, you want to talk to me. I'm just a real friendly guy. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody that's real grateful and real humble about what they do. Just how I was raised, but definitely think I'm coming for the people's champ. As you can see with the celebrations, I don't really do that for me. I do that for y'all to get hyped. So definitely, I'll definitely come for the People's Champ. And you can add Nolan on that too.
Nice. That's awesome. Great stuff. Jaemyn, thanks for joining us, man. I'm sure the Duke fans will be excited to learn more about you. And I look forward personally to you coming in next year and getting to cover you during your freshman year.
No problem. Thank you.